Hi, welcome to simplyscuba.com. In this session we're looking at the Suunto Vyper Air dive computer. It's a great computer this, with an optional air integration as well. So let's take a closer look at it. So take a look at some of the features we've got on the computer then. It's a nice, good, strong design. As with most of the Suunto products, it's a really good, high quality. It's got a large rubberized strap. It's a good size, this strap as well, so really easy to fitting over the top of your dry suit, or obviously tighten it down to fit over the wet suit. It sits in a little boot just around the actual computer itself. It just protects it even more. It's got these little overhangs as well, which just go over the top of the buttons themselves. Makes it really easy to push with gloves on, but also just protects the computer further. Got a nice high quality matrix display as well, making it really, really easy to read. And we've got this cover just over the screen as well, again for a little bit of added protection. If we now take a look at some of the features we've got. Okay, so if we talk about some of the systems included in the dive computer itself, it is air and nitrox compatible and can be switched during the dive as well, literally by the push of a button. We have an altitude adjustment setting as well, so if you are diving above sea level, the computer can handle that and make the relevant calculations. We have audio and visual alarms as well for things like depth time, max depth as well, and obviously ascent rates. Those audio and visual alarms literally just flash and make a noise, so you can obviously be fully aware if you're in any danger or trouble at all. We have a digital compass built in as well, which again a handy little feature. It is wirelessly compatible as well with the wireless transmitter, so you can get the transmitter separately, which plugs into your first stage and then displays your air pressure on the watch itself, which just lessens down on hoses, clutter, and makes you a little bit more comfortable in the water. We do have a user replaceable battery on the back as well, and also a PC interface, so you can connect this to your PC as well, transfer all your information, get a bit of extra graphs and bits and pieces like that, and obviously store the contents of your dives onto the PC. There is a dive planner built in as well, and also a dive simulator, so you can be completely prepared for your dive before you even get into the water. So if we now take a look at the menu system itself on the computer. So if we take a quick look at the menu system we have on the dive computer then, just note quickly first that there is normally a scratch guard which just sits on top of the computer just to protect the screen usually, but we have removed this just so you can see the screen a little more, as there's a bit of glare from the guard itself. The computer, it's currently sat in its time mode. This is the default mode from when you turn the computer on. It is water activated, the computer, so it will automatically switch to its dive mode once it is submersed, which is a handy little feature. But first, if we take a look at the time mode, as you can see on the front here, we have 4 large buttons with the rubberized cover on the top, just protects the button underneath, makes it really easy to push as well, especially if you've got gloves on. So the time mode just displays current time, the date, and also the day. If you do need to change any of the actual time settings themselves, you can hold down the down button for a couple of seconds, sends you through to the settings menu. On this settings menu, you have a number of different things you can change, which you can scroll through using the up and down buttons on the bottom here, such as alarm, time, date, units, backlight, and also tones. If you do want to change any of these settings, you can select the predicted one, push the select button, and then make any changes again using the up and down keys, and then save it using the select. If you do need to go back to the previous menu at any time, you can push the mode button, which takes you back a step. So some of the other modes we've got on the computer then. Press the mode button, sends you through to the dive mode. Quickly shows some additional information and also your battery indicator, and then through to the dive mode itself. So at the top here, we have your depth. Currently it's showing your surface time and no fly time, as there's obviously not submerged the computer, so this is what it displays at the surface. And then some extra information at the bottom there. We have temperature and also your air pressure. As this computer is compatible with the wireless transmitter, it will display your bar just at the bottom there in the corner. You can also change the display at the bottom just by pressing these up and down buttons. So currently we have the temperature in this corner. You press it once, it will show your dive time. With the bar, if you press the down button once, it will show your maximum depth. as shown there. And then if we press down again on this side, it will then show current time as well. If you do press the mode button again once more, you can switch between air and nitrox. So you can do this during the dive if you need to, and it will automatically readjust. And there's also a gauge setting there as well, which you can switch to. So pressing the mode button switches between those. It's nice and simple. Also flicks through the other menus. It's really simple and easy to use. As we said as well, with the time menu, if we just switch this back to air again, you can hold down the down button, which then give you the settings for your dive screen. So again, we have a number of different settings on here. You have the alarms for the audio and visual alarms, personal altitude and sample rates. There's a number of different options that you can adjust nice and easily. Also, by holding down the select key for a few seconds while in dive mode, it'll activate the digital compass, which again is a nice handy little feature to have. It's just one less bit of equipment you have to take diving with you, to have it all integrated into the computer. If we next go on to the next menu, which is plan. So this is a dive planner which is integrated into the computer again. Shows your desaturation time, any time remaining before it goes actually onto the dive planner itself. So what you can do here is you can adjust your maximum bottom depth, and by doing that it will then give you a no decompression time just below there, so you're fully aware of your no decompression time before you even get into the water, which is a great added little feature. There's also a dive simulator as well, so you can simulate the dive again before you even get into the water, so you're fully aware of your situation before you actually go diving. So the other features we have is a memory setting. So this just remembers your last dive. If you ever need to log any details or anything like that, after you finished your dive into a normal logbook, you can go back and check out all your details, which is displayed in there. We also have a logbook, which stores approximately 47 hours worth of dive time within the computer. Again, storing all your information in there. We obviously don't have any currently stored into the computer, but you can flick through those, as we said, up to 47 hours approximately of dive time. So you can store it all on there. It can then be transferred as well with that PC interface straight onto your computer.